It does so. Yeah, this one is weird. Let me see. This one is working fine or not? See the sound? Yeah, this one is weird. Okay, everything is working fine. Okay, so it was just scaring me, I suppose. Okay, let's see this one. Hopefully it works. Yeah, this one works. Okay, so everything works then. Okay, it was just telling me wrong for whatever reason. I don't know why. This is slightly weird. Sorry guys for occupying you like this. I just want to make sure everything works fine here. This is slightly weird. Sorry guys for. Yeah, apparently it works. So apparently it works. So I've got no idea why is it like that. Okay, because here on Rumble it shows me. Let me show you. On Rumble it shows me error: the binding not allowed for YouTube. But on the other hand, here I see everything is fine. Everything works. So it's very misleading for whatever reason. So I wasn't really sure, are we fine or not? But apparently we are fine. So yeah, so whatever. So whatever. Okay, guys. So allow me. Sorry for this very long intro. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hightech, of course, and on these live streams, I talk about what just happened today in the crypto market, what I think about regarding 11 years of my experience, and I briefly explain what Hightech meme coin is and why you might be interested in it. So Jesus is king, and let's start. Other than that, everything is ready. I was just not sure. Okay, you know what? Allow me to quickly turn off Telegram so I don't get any private messages here. You guys, you know what? Maybe here, yeah. Let's enable this one here as well. All messages. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, of course, let me know in the live chat if you want to engage in the conversation. And follow me on X, of course, because from time to time I will give you an airdrop there in Hightech, so I think is worth it. My X profile is at H170K, same as the name of my meme coin. It's pretty fine, pretty easy to find me. So is the pump ending, right? That's the question I'm putting here in front of you. Should we be worried? Is this recovery about to come to an end? So far, as you probably know, I'm in a trade on ICP. It's a very juicy trade, right? Entry was here at around $3.29, something along those lines. 3.28. Yeah, 28 and a half. And it gave me a double already. So that means initial investment has been withdrawn. And now, I do not run the risk of losing on this trade, even if it goes. Even if this one goes like this here, down to minus 99%, I will still make 1% on it if I close there. So yeah, but to be honest, I expect this going to give me a second double, maybe even two more doubles. Because when we look over to, on the weekly, look how big this pump is, right? If you compare it against the whole chart, this pump here this is nothing. This is literally nothing, right? take a look at this chart on Zoom. It's nothing, completely nothing. So definitely it's very oversold and definitely has a lot of room for growth here. So yeah, the crypto bubbles, as you see, it's mostly red, but yeah, there is some green here and there. Of course, ICP. Other coins I do not know that well. Shell, but okay, but is an old coin. Scene, Resolve. Those I have no idea what those are. Sapien here is at plus 243%, but this one just got listed, so I completely did not take it into account. I never trade coins that just got listed. Maybe later, I don't know, maybe later I will trade it, but so far this one is invisible to me because there is not enough of data on its chart in order for my system to trade it. But generally, mostly speaking, as you see, we are in negative. MMT has corrected minus 50%, but this one is also newly listed. So it's just giving back the pump it just had. Same as ICP had an enormous pump in the beginning, as you see here. How many percent it was from the very beginning? It was like around 12x. Shortly after it got listed in the first week, 12x it made. Some of these coins they make more, like MMT, right? Sapien. They actually probably made more than that during the first week. But let's say it just is a very common outcome. It ends up like ICP. So just keeps correcting and correcting and correcting and goes lower and lower and lower. And in case of ICP, the strong point of ICP is that it has a really, really good fundamentals, right? Because this is like cloud computing, cloud storage, cloud computing, internet computer, let's say, kind of a project. So definitely a lot of use cases, especially in times of broadening AI adoption. Most of those here probably they do not have as much to offer, so that means they will have to perform much worse than that. Oh, I'm noticing the trading view, the Chrome has slowed down by a lot. Okay, but whatever. I will have to restart it after this live stream. Guys, if you have any questions, of course, ask me in the live chat. I always love when there is any conversation ongoing here. All messages are set to be visible. All you must do is to subscribe to the channel. Is subscribe to the channel, because otherwise you will not be able to make a comment here. That's the requirement. Why is that so? Because I don't want any bots. It happened to me already a few times that I was live streaming and bots got into my live chat and they were spamming about some scams and stuff. So I don't want that. So yeah, the traditional market, let's take a look how traditional market is doing today. I mean, generally speaking, I have a little bit of bad news for you. Yeah, so as you see, the weekly is still very, very strongly red. Today's daily is also red, and we actually made a new lower low today in this downtrend that has started since the all-time high. So yeah, so that's not a good omen, not a good sign, and moreover, more because it's Thursday. So, and yesterday I said, yeah, we better count on a green Thursday, and unfortunately, it's not green. I mean, so far, maybe later today it's going to get a little bit better. We still have some time left, but as of now, this is not looking good for the rest of the week. We'll probably, yeah, as you see, a red Thursday. Yeah, we'll probably descend a little bit lower, maybe not that much. This is Bitcoin chart, of course. For those that have not noticed, we could still go a little bit lower, maybe slightly below 100K for the next few days, or we just go sideways. One of the two. But who knows? Maybe in the meantime, altcoins will make use of the opportunity if Bitcoin does nothing really, and we will have a recovery here. And as you see, TradingView has taken away my downtrending line here, but hey, this is what it is. I don't know why on Chrome, on whichever system I use this website, TradingView, on Ubuntu, on macOS, on Ubuntu, on Windows, it keeps forgetting my lines. On Chrome, I have heard from people that used Mozilla Firefox that they do not have such problem, but on Chrome, for whatever reason, I experience it. I wonder if you guys have the same. If it's in your case, exactly the same happens. And some charts that I haven't visited for a very, very, very long time. All of those resistance support lines and some drawings are there, and on those charts I revisit very frequently. I'll draw something, put something here, and very often than not, it disappears from a visit to a visit. So yeah, this is not what I like. Yeah, more or less like this. Yeah. So here we of course we wait. As I said previously on my last live stream, we must dominate this confluence here. Once we achieve that, maybe we'll have a retest and then go off to the races. One thing I do not expect to happen is that we go below this zone of support here. We go below, we try to get back up, we get rejected and go lower. That is the only thing I completely do not see happening. Even though, when you listen, for example, to financial YouTube, let's call it that way. Like I have seen Meet Kevin today, and well, he is feeding us information that is bearish, right? That's generally bearish for the market. There is overwhelmingly bearish sentiment in the crypto market too, which makes it very, very unlikely to see a huge corrections just now. I mean, or start a bear market. Bear market starts when there is euphoria, not when there is a pessimism at the very top of the rally. So it's completely literally the opposite of the setup we are having currently. And here, as you see, Finland Grid Index is at 24, still very low. I wonder how liquidations are going today. Probably they are lower than yesterday because yesterday was quite high, and today not that much has happened. Yeah, it's lower. It's lower, but it's not low, right? It's not very low because Bitcoin 220, Ethereum 126. So that's not. We've seen much lower, of course. Even on Wednesday, just like today. So yeah, guys, share, like, and subscribe. If you watch it live, of course, share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget about that part. And yeah, here I have a lot of tabs open, as you see, and that's because I'm writing to different DEX exchanges. I have written to almost all of DEX exchanges on the ones that are on CoinMarketCap about a collab, right? Because I want to engage them into my project. into high tech, into my meme coin. I have my ways of how to do it. I have my proposition, let's say, and now I'm sending the same stuff to Texas. I like one or two per day they answer, right? So, but I still have a lot of crypto businesses to contact, a lot of other dexes because I haven't contacted all of them. So I'm fairly confident that at least one or two, maybe even three, I will give it a try, right? And once that happens on this market, rockets will be starting. So yeah, that's why just maybe it's a little bit risky not to have even $1 of allocation in this market because this is just the beginning, right? It already fulfilled when we were starting at $1 here. I said maybe it's good to have at least $1 worth in it. And now that $1 would turn into $143. So, and this is right in the proof is right in front of your eyes, right? And this is not like this token was blocked from selling. Absolutely not. Anyone could sell it at any given moment in time. Domsley says, hi, bros. Hi, Domsley. If you guys have any questions, of course, ask me in the live chat. If you heard something interesting, in the crypto space, about the crypto space today, that's the meaning of this, the sense of this YouTube channel. That's why I live stream. I do not make static content that I upload later on, but I record live streams, so it's just much more interesting, much more entertaining, much more interactive. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Domsy says, amazing, bros. Hi. Okay, hi. So now you are on Domsley now is on both of the live streams, on the vertical and horizontal one. Okay. So what else I want to tell you guys about what has been going on. James Wynn is bearish, so that I was talking about it on my last live stream. This guy actually shorted the market. He was showing that he's shorting it on 4DX leverage, which no wonder he loses money. If he's first, he's shorting the market that is famous for how explosive it is. That's what that is one, and second, he does it with multiplier times 40. So if you do that, then let me tell you, there's no way you will ever see any money from this place. At best, you may score a win here and there, but at the end of the game, you'll have to give away your last shirt. So what is he saying, James Wynn? If you have over 50% of your net worth in crypto, you are stupid. Well, I have almost 100, but that's because I do not hold. I have it actively managed, right, by my system. So that's a completely different situation. I even say that to me it would be stupid if I did it any other way, because since I have a system like this and I can benefit from this market going really, really high at any given moment in time, why would I keep it in dollar that keeps melting away? It makes no sense, right? But for majority of people, yeah, I agree. For normies, let's say, you should not be with that amount of your portfolio, that amount of your net worth in crypto. Those most famous guys you ever heard about, that made millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto, initially they invested less than 5%, right? Now the majority of their wealth might be in crypto, but they have so great distance to get into any trouble because of it, that even if this market dips minus 95%, they are still millionaires, right? So that is why they can afford, with holdings that big, they can afford um, to let it sit and wait until things get fixed. Tofik says hello. Hi Tofik. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ask questions, because let me tell you, I do not send airdrops just for saying hello and dropping CA. I will definitely not send an airdrop for it. Why? Because what I'm after is to create a community, a vibrant community. I don't want beggars, right? I don't want any beggars in my community, because those are just a liability, right? It's nothing that comes from beggars. I want people that are invested in the project, if not financially, then mentally. And yes, that is why pasting your CA will not do the trick alone. Okay, let's see. Let's see other things maybe as well. Let's take a look at liquidation heat map, how this landscape has changed here. Okay, here in 24 hours context, as you see, vast majority of liquidity is above the price, so that favorites upward moves. But remember that first of all, depending on the context that you choose here, this liquidation heat map changes vastly. Sometimes, I mean, from one to another, it's inconsistent. It rarely shows you consistent results in between different time frames. So that's why I think the best is to pick one and eventually try to work with that. But generally speaking, liquidation heat maps are very unreliable because they are the easiest to spoof, right? So market makers, they can submit whatever or long or short order to the order book, and it will pop up here, and they will do that without intent of actually that offers to get triggered, right? Whenever the price approaches those levels where they posted it, they will quickly take it off, right? Because the intent of spoofing is to push market one direction or the other with bluff, right? With bluffing. So that is why it does not cost anything to do that here. So you must treat it with a very sane dose of distance, right? You must distance yourself from whatever anyone will show you here ever, because the spoofing here is for free, and that's the biggest weakness of that indicator. Domsy says we are from bro. I don't understand what does mean. We are from bro. Airdrop. Like I said, if you become a member that engages, that creates a conversation, then I will definitely after a while send you an airdrop. But if you are you just come and extend your arms and say airdrop, bro, airdrop, then forget about it. Absolutely not. Like I said, I don't want beggars in my community. Okay, let's take a look what we've got on X. What is new? Be careful, everyone out there. Bear market signs are here, like it or not. Who is this guy? Some Chinese? Yeah, probably. Bro, you cannot say at this point, looking at Bitcoin chart, if anybody tells you that looks like we are having a bear market, I mean, he's stupid. You can right now immediately unsubscribe them, because this is way too early to tell if we are in a if we are starting bear market or not. No. I mean, it's at this point, it's just guessing. You may guess and be lucky after more, let's say, proof is gathered. But as of now, I even go as far as to say I see the opposite because the sentiment is so low. And here, for example, in last cycle, everyone and their mother were bullish until here. And here, like 50-50. It was like 50-50 split. Are we bullish? Are we bearish? And here there was a widespread consensus that, yeah, this is a bear market. So practically at the bottom, right? Practically at the bottom, there was a widespread consensus that, this is a bear market. Yeah, this is a bear market. And now it's going to take a year before we see any pumps, right? And did it take a year? Let's see from here until here. Absolutely not. We had a little bit over 6 months of somewhat choppy price action, and then we started to pump, right? So if mainstream, if everyone and their mother and their sister and their brother, they tell you that's it, this is a bear market, this is definitely not a bear market. Because this is not how it works. This is a zero-sum game. Here, majority must be wrong, because otherwise there will be literally nothing to earn here if everyone is right. Why? Because if the majority is wrong, the minority is wrong. That minority funds what you can earn here, because what you make here, what you make in the crypto market, in any other market, the money you make comes from the people that lose, right? So there must be a lot of losers in order for you to win big. If there is just few losers, the money they throw at the market is divided in between all of those that were right. So that means everyone gets a very, very, very small win, right? And this is not what this market is famous for. Donbass 678 says, thank you. Let's go, sir. Will Bitcoin go up? Yeah, I think it will go up. I think we still may see a little bit of a selling pressure here, a little bit more of a scare, and that's it. But this is not going to be a start of a bear market, not just yet. Bear market will come, but what we are looking at right now does not match a basic characteristics of start of a bear market. Just that does not add up. I've never seen a bear market that started this high and everyone knew it started. Like, I don't think you will be able to find an instance of something like this in the history of stock market and global finance, which for now is like 300 years long, right? So that's very, very telling. Jiku said, wow. And hello, okay. Welcome, Jiku. Jilku. You're Jilku, right? So yeah, guys. Alejandro BTC, lower, much lower. Yeah. So as you see, the sentiment on CryptoX is generally bearish. Many people calling for lower prices. Many people warning from bear market or warning from lower prices. And in times like this, 100% of the time, it's other way around. It's literally the market does exactly the opposite. If you, for example, search on YouTube or on X what the sentiment was here after this huge drop, that was just mouth shutting, like it zipped everybody's mouth. If you're in the market back then, you know very well what I'm talking about. Here it was absolutely obvious also, and this was actually a huge drop. That was minus 55% from the very top. So there was much more merit to believe this is a bear market at this point than, for example, here, right? Because those aggressive drop and then we were downtrending for quite some time. It was much more manageable to believe, yeah, we are actually, yeah, probably we are entering a bear market here. And look what happened later on, right? And my systems, my algorithm, which I trade with, early on told me that no, this is not a bear market, absolutely not. Even though we had a huge drop, right? Shortly before, and compare it to what we have now, right? I mean, compare this here, huge decline, aggressive decline, very fast, and then a downtrend. Compare it to here, like there is zero comparison, absolutely zero comparison. And here it wasn't a bear market, right? And everyone in this area, I marked everyone and their families and everybody they knew were saying, yeah, this is a bear market. That's why whenever there is such a widespread consensus that yeah, now probably the market will go this way or that way, it always goes an other way around, completely other way around. Jilko says, "Keep up the spirit, bro. Can I get an airdrop? We'll see." I don't send airdrops just like that. I want to see engagement. I want to see people to stay around. I want to gain conviction that if I send airdrop, it will not be sold off, in the same moment or the next day. And yeah, and talking of airdrops, so hence talking about high tech, what high tech actually is. High tech is nothing else but a meme coin that I adopt as my stock market, right? So that means whenever anyone comes to me through this YouTube channel and wants some sort of exposure to his business, to his project or whatever, they will have to walk through this market here. So they will have to buy it up, they will have to burn it or send it to a blind address that has no private key. And then I will be mentioning about it that such and such company, they are supporting the project and they do this and that, and you can read about them here, right? That's the only way anyone can gain exposure on my social media, through high tech meme coin. And sooner or later, I mean, this YouTube channel is still very small, right? Because it has like 157 subscribers as of yet, I think. Maybe now a couple of people joined. But my other YouTube channel I run in my mother tongue, it has almost 1,000, right? And it's growing. This one is growing, and the other one is growing. The other one is growing much more faster, I mean, much faster. So sooner or later, I will get a proposition like that. As a matter of fact, I already had propositions like that, but I didn't have it back then. I didn't really have it clear how I want to, play it. But now I have a full clarity. I have, thought everything through. So yeah, they will come back. I mean, those that were asking me before, sooner or later they will come back with the same offer, or maybe even better. And then yeah, they will have to make a commitment here. The strong part is I do not require any minimum, right? Anyone can, if they want exposure on my channel, they can take whatever. Like it can be literally whatever amount they think is suitable, that makes sense, or as they please. Why? Because my viewers will judge, right? My viewers, my communities, they will judge, is that serious or not. So if they want to, I don't know, embarrass themselves, yeah, let them buy $1 or $2 or $3. It doesn't matter what they do, what their business does. It will be embarrassing. Everyone will think like, what the hell? What are they doing, right? Like that, they claim that they're a big company, they do this and that, and they for example, they have a global reach, and they bought up, I don't know, bought up high tech for $10. nobody will be treating them serious, right? But if they come and I don't know, buy up for 10K, let's say, then probably most of people here would think, yeah, okay, those guys are the real deal, right? Because they are coming to a niche YouTube channel, quite a small one, and they make a commitment that in scale of this market here is actually large, right? So that means if you invest in high tech, my talking here is actually for you, right? It means you employ me, I work for you, right? With running this YouTube channel, running the other YouTube channel, running my X profiles, where as you see, I promote high tech only. I do not promote any other project. So that is a proposition I don't think anyone else has given you. Camping to says hi. Can I get an airdrop? Um like I said, you stay around, you engage in the conversation. You show me you are not coming here just for airdrop, but you want to be a part of the community. Then sooner or later, I guarantee you will get an airdrop. Okay, what else we've got here? Let's see. Karan Singh Aurora, describe this crypto cycle in one word. For now, when it comes to altcoins, this is a bear market. I mean, don't let anybody tell you that altcoins have seen a bull market, because whatever charts you can examine on TradingView, they are heavily skewed. As you see here in the parameter, when you go to others chart, it says symbol equals Binance. That means this chart it is composed of coins that are listed on Binance, and Binance has done a lot of rotation this cycle. They kicked out a bunch of coins, they accepted a bunch of new coins, and they keep rotating the coins, right? So that is why this chart here, it looks much better than it's supposed to look. If they left the coins they had in 2022, 2023, this chart would look like more or less like this, right? So completely different story, absolutely different story, much more exhausted, way more exhausted. Yeah, yes, there was some pumps, there was some attempts to get this thing, stand up, get up, but so far it's a very grim picture, right? But that's actually good news. That's actually good news, because this means this market is very exhausted, is very oversold, and majority of weak hands are already outside. And there is high concentration of this coin in a group of just few, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because it means the saturation is low, and this is how you characterize an oversold state of the market. If it's high, if the amount of the coin remains in literally handful of people. Why? Because that means usually that handful of people are strong hands. They invest long term, and then they will not be selling for, I don't know, plus 50, plus 100%. Absolutely not. People like that usually have very long term outlook, and they'll be feeding the market slowly. Whenever there is a pump, they'll be feeding the market slowly and saturating it with that coin slowly, so the pump can go on, right? So yeah, that's how I see it. That's how I understand it. And in my eyes, with my experience, 11 years of experience in this field, right? I tell you, yeah, of course, we can still see some negative volatility, but you should get ready for very big rallies. Do not go all in anything, because that's a stupid idea always. Whenever you invest in something, you must have a comfort to even forget about it. If you invest like that, right? With the amounts of money that that are so insignificant to you that you can literally forget about it, then usually you will become a successful investor. What are you writing here? Kambing 2 says, yes, which token will rise high, bro? I mean, the only trade I can honestly recommend, which I'm absolutely sure that will go thousands of percents from here. And why? Because it relies on me, and I'm a very consequent guy. I'm a very stubborn individual. So I'm super stubborn. I'm probably the most stubborn person you ever seen wherever. That's why the only honest recommendation I give you is high tech, and the rest the rest I don't know. I have my systems. If when it comes to trading, buying, selling, I have my systems, to do it for me. I've written. I show you from time to time a one trade or two trades that got executed on my system, like ICP, for example. Whenever I get a nice trade, I will show you. Like this one here, right? It already made me plus 100%, and it's 50% remained in the position, and it keeps going higher. And probably it will give me another double. That's what I'm imagining here. Especially that this coin has been beaten up really really badly, and I think, who knows, maybe this one is kicking off the altcoin season as we speak. That's definitely not impossible, because it's one of those coins that were in existence last cycle. It suffered a lot, it survived, and now it's apparently coming back. And let's see how big of a comeback it's going to have. And that could signal to some that we are, on to an altcoin season. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance just quickly, because the Bitcoin dominance, of course, has to decline at some point. It has to give up. It goes against the tides, against the wind, up the hill. Just the nature of free market capitalism is a very bad news for Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin, the trajectory, I keep saying it, I keep repeating it on every single live stream. The trajectory, the Bitcoin dominance trajectory is zero. At some point it will fall to zero. It's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of when. It's a matter of sorry. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. ASIC says. ASIC just says hi. Okay. All right, guys. Allow me to wrap it up for now. I'll be live streaming sometime later today for sure, because I tend to live stream twice a day, at least twice a day. Sometimes I even do thrice a day. So yeah, share, like, and subscribe, and repost. Follow me on my X. Repost everything. Spread a good word about high tech. The better this market is doing, the lighter my hand will be to send airdrops, right? So whenever you see a pump here, whenever you see this market performing very well, I will want to celebrate it with some airdrops. So that is why I stay around, because this is a very early stage of this thing here. Very, very early days. This is a lifetime project. This is not a pump and dump. This is not a seasonal thing. This is a lifetime project. This coin has my face on it, so that obligates me, right? That obligates me to stay with it and be faithful to it, because literally my reputation is on the line, and I'm not around crypto since yesterday. I'm here. It's been 11 years already, right? And maybe on global scene I'm not very well known. My local national scene, I'm much more recognizable. So yeah, there is quite a lot at stake here. If this hypothetically, if I allow this project to fail, I would lose a lot. I would risk a lot, right? So that is why it's completely out of the picture. I will never let this project fail. So yeah, thank you for your time, guys, and I see you sometime later today.